Saskatchewan farmers brace for a major hit as China announces plans to impose new tariffs on canola. And an Indigenous woman's family prepares to launch a formal complaint against the Health Authority after her hair was cut without consent. Plus, the University of Saskatchewan names its new president.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Saskatchewan farmers are bracing for a major hit tonight as China escalates its trade dispute with Canada. And canola farmers are getting caught in the middle. CTV's Angela Stewart now on the new tariffs and its impact on our province.
China's latest tariff move is sending shockwaves through Canada's canola industry, especially here in Saskatchewan.
That will have a devastating impact on the price points for Saskatchewan's canola industry, and I would say ultimately Saskatchewan's ag producers.
On Thursday, China will be increasing the provincial duty rate to 78.5%. It's the latest in a year-long trade dispute that began with the federal government's tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The Premier says the timing couldn't be worse for farmers.
As they are hard at work starting their harvest procedures and getting their harvest underway.
He is now pleading federal officials to take action and is expecting to speak with Prime Minister Mark Carney in the next 24 hours. The Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan says this will take Canada completely out of the global canola market, hitting producers across the province hard.
As producers, we feel like we're being caught in a tariff war that we, had obviously didn't want. Canola is a prime target for tariffs from the Chinese perspective because they know that it's a huge value crop in Canada, particularly in Western Canada.
The Saskatchewan NDP is now calling on the provincial government to launch a trade mission to China to help protect local producers.
We need to be there making the case that there is a path out of this, but that this is going to cause a lot of concerns, certainly for producers here. But we're going to see increased costs for people in China as well.
The new tariffs are temporary and will be finalized after a probe into anti-dumping officially wraps up next month. Angela Stewart, CTV News, Regina.
An Indigenous woman's family is preparing to launch a formal complaint against the Saskatchewan Health Authority after her hair was cut without consent. Keenan Sorokon has the story.
The family of Karina Morin say the 54-year-old Indigenous woman's rights were violated when her hair was cut without consent while she was medically incapacitated at Royal University Hospital in June. And now they want to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else.
And when my mom woke up and I showed her how she looked, she said she was ugly.
It traumatized the late Corina in a very bad way.
Morin died in hospice care last month. Her family says she was deeply affected by having her hair cut, which was described on Tuesday as holding a profound cultural significance to First Nations people.
We don't want that to happen to anybody else. Family or not, nobody deserves that.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority implemented a new Indigenous haircutting policy at the beginning of the month. The policy states staff must receive consent from the patient or a family member. Cutting a patient's hair is only required for medically necessary or life-saving procedures such as brain or head surgeries or head traumas. Haircutting is not required for the treatment of lice.
When children have that problem, lice issue, they get sent home to get treated. They don't cut their hair.
While the policy is a positive step, LaFond wants a formal apology and wishes she was part of the conversation to create it.
Our office, was disrespected, and I'll just say it.
The SHA says it apologized to Morin after her hair was cut and says more than 90% of physicians and staff have completed new mandatory cultural responsiveness training. With nearly 450 complaints filed since her office was created less than 2 years ago, LaFond says the work continues to prevent more stories like this.
To understand the traumas that have occurred and still continue to occur.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right. right, Jeff, not too sunny out there.
No, you know what? It's been a sort of a hit and miss day in that respect, but you're right. There's some clouds out there, and more importantly, for some parts of the province, those clouds have rain associated with them. You know, an impulse, a bit of a storm system sliding in from Alberta, but unfortunately, it looks like it's, as I say, wringing itself out as it makes its way closer to the wildfire areas, but more rain is on the way, and we're hoping that stays up in the northern part of our province for a bit more of a reasonable amount of time. So we're going to talk about that later on.
Thanks, Jeff. A former Saskatoon Transit driver is facing a hit-and-run charge after allegedly hitting a man back in May. Police say a 49-year-old man was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The 42-year-old driver has been charged with failing to stop at the scene of an accident. The city tells CTV News the driver no longer works for Saskatoon Transit. To Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench now, where court proceedings against the Saskatchewan government's plan to extend coal-fired power got underway. CTV's Stacey Hine has the details.
A group of citizens and environmental activists stand outside Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench. They're hoping to stop the provincial government's plan to extend the use of coal-fired power.
We're ignoring the realities of climate change. We're ignoring the fact that coal is the #1 reason why climate change is occurring.
In June, Minister Jeremy Harrison sent a memo to Sask Power employees stating that coal plants would continue operating beyond their expected lifespan until nuclear power can be generated. Federal regulations introduced in 2016 require all coal-fired plants to shut down after 50 years of use or by 2030. Now, the Saskatchewan Environmental Society and Citizens for Justice are asking for a judicial review, a process where courts assess whether a government decision is lawful and fair. At Tuesday's hearing, the group's lawyer also requested an interim stay, a pause on the province's plan to restart the coal plant unit Boundary Dam 4 until the court completes its review. The government's lawyer argued the application is faulty because it's based on a letter to employees and not an administrative decision.
It's clear to me that the government has made the decision. They have directed Sask Power to start refurbishing coal, and we think the court should look at that decision and determine was it reasonable and was it lawful.
Premier Scott Moe says moving away from coal by 2030 is not practical.
If we were forced to switch to natural gas and then to drag out the conversion to nuclear that we are planning in this province, there would actually be a larger emissions profile.
The judge has reserved her decision on whether this is an issue the courts should consider. She said she'll give a written decision outlining the next steps. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A woman from northern Saskatchewan was evacuating from the forest fires when she noticed 5 small animals trapped in the flames and decided to help. The Regina Humane Society says last month a woman was fleeing from Pine House with her 3 children when she saw the animals. Despite her car packed with her family's belongings, she jumped into action to save the 3 kittens and 2 puppies. She spent the next 4 days living out of her car with her children and the animals she saved until she could safely turn them over to the Humane Society.
We were very happy to be able to help out there, and there was a woman that took them into her care along with her 3 kids. They lived in their car with the 3 kids and 5 or 6 animals for a couple days, and we were able to arrange to get them here, and we'll hopefully be able to find them some new homes for sure.
The Regina Humane Society is now looking to find homes for the remaining 3 cats and 1 dog. UR Pride says even with a decision allowing their legal challenge against Saskatchewan's pronoun law to proceed, their work is not finished. In a statement today, the organization said it's a win for the LGBTQ+ community in the province and across Canada by clarifying the use of the notwithstanding clause moving forward. The group is renewing their call for the government to repeal the law, which remains in effect heading into the new school year. Meanwhile, the province asserts that parents should maintain their rights in their child's education, including the right to know their children are going by a different name or pronouns at school. Saskatchewan is showing strength on the job front. New Stats Canada numbers reveal the province is leading the country in putting people to work. As Carla Shinkrook reports, a diverse economy and new workforce are helping fuel this positive momentum.
The rules have changed a little bit.
Hanif Hamani has been helping people find jobs for 10 years, so the latest labor force numbers showing Saskatchewan leads the way with getting people into jobs is reassuring.
Typically, we mimic Alberta, and this is kind of the first time where we've actually diverged a little bit from Alberta. Alberta's actually lost some jobs, and the unemployment rate went up.
The Statistics Canada July report shows that Saskatchewan continues to see record growth with over 22,000 full-time jobs added year over year in July. There are unique factors for that.
Unlike other provinces, and I'll use Alberta again as an example, they've had a very difficult time placing a lot of their newcomers. That has contributed to a lot of the unemployment rate. We've been actually pretty good at doing that here.
Hamani also says more Indigenous people are being hired in mining sectors up north. Jason Abig with the Saskatoon Chamber of Commerce says Saskatchewan grit and pursuit of growth from those who are hiring has been key.
Our business community remains very bullish on our economy. They continue to feel strongly that there are reasons to be optimistic.
None of this is surprising to Abig, who also credits our diverse economy with potash, oil, and agriculture.
Which means our risk is spread out across a number of sectors and industries. We're not wholly dependent on one or two.
It's great news for job seekers. In our two largest cities, July employment numbers this year compared to last year show Saskatoon's employment was up 4,300. That's an increase of 2.1%, while Regina's employment was up 5,600 or 3.8%. Big projects helping to get those numbers up.
So the construction industry in general and a lot of these capital investments are driving additional workforce and work needs.
Our experts say many of the jobs being filled are full-time and entry-level or just above, which is positive for the future. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Regina police say its officers shot and killed a dog during an investigation. Police were called to a Regina home for a report of two men inside with guns, not allowing anyone to leave. Police say while they were setting up a perimeter, a dog came out of the home and began to attack a canine dog. Police say officers shot and killed the dog. Meanwhile, the canine dog is suffering minor injuries. The incident remains under investigation. As the University of Saskatchewan's current president, Dr. Peter Stoichev, prepares to step down after a decade on the job, the U of S has officially named his replacement. Hallie Mandrick has the story.
The University of Saskatchewan will have a new president.
I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Vince Bruno-Basio as the 12th president.
Dr. Vince Bruno-Basio will be leading the U of S for a 5-year term, beginning on January 1st of 2026, succeeding Dr. Peter Stoichev, who has served as president for a decade after being appointed in 2015.
I believe that focus I have on hearing people moving forward together and hearing what they have to say has always been what sets my work apart, is that I really get the best information from listening to the experts in the room and the perspectives that I'm hearing.
Bruno-Basio has been a faculty member at the Edwards School of Business since 2012, and his research focuses on the cross-sections of strategy and governance in nonprofits, for-profits, credit unions, and Indigenous organizations. It's a background the incoming president trusts will help him navigate his term and the financial constraints he says are affecting universities across the country.
Our relationship with the province of Saskatchewan is critical to all of the success we will have. So if we can connect with all the communities here, industry, government, Indigenous communities, the way we have been and continue to build on that will develop the value that we're offering the province, and that will help us to address our financial realities.
Premier Scott Moe was also in attendance for the announcement and echoed some of the new president's sentiments.
It's good for the university to have good relations with the province, wherever they might be in Canada, but it's also extremely important to the province to have a strong relationship and understanding of what is actually happening here at the university and how the province can step in and support that.
As the U of S looks towards the future, Bruno-Basio is thankful for the opportunity to leave his mark on the institution.
Really felt there was a time for me to sort of look at if I could contribute in the role. So I looked at where we are in the university right now, what our challenges are, and whether I had the appropriate skill sets and my belief. And I thought I could help. It's just something that I felt pulled to do. I can't even explain it other than that. It was just very much something from the heart.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The Prince Albert Fire Department has a brand new $1.3 million fire truck. The custom-built truck replaces a 24-year-old vehicle that had reached the end of its lifespan. The new engine, assigned as the department's first arriving unit, is equipped with a touchscreen aimed at improving the fire crew's accuracy and efficiency during emergencies. It's expected to be in operation for the next 20 years. Saskatchewan's agriculture sector is getting a boost from the federal government. Today, the minister responsible for Prairie's Economic Development Canada announced more than $4.2 million to support Saskatchewan's leading role in Canada's ag sector. The money will go towards developing plant breeding programs and automating grain bins. Also in that funny, the food centre in Saskatoon will get money for its renovations. Researchers from the University of Regina are studying mercury emissions caused by wetland drainage. Mercury from the atmosphere is captured by water and stored. The study is looking into whether the pollutant is released back into the atmosphere when the wetlands are drained for crop production. The U of R research is the first of its kind on the prairies. The government of Saskatchewan kicked off this year's harvest season. East of Humboldt, the agriculture minister said harvest can be a tumultuous period for farmers and mental health should be prioritized. He also called for the public's cooperation during the busy harvest months.
We need motorists to have some patience, be aware of that slow-moving equipment, and just please use patience. You know, it might take an extra couple of minutes to get to your destination, but it's more important that you get there safely than quickly.
Harvest begins with fall rye and barley and continues with wheat and canola. The historic St. Andrew's United Church building in downtown Moose Jaw has been sold, but it will remain a religious facility. Wayne Mantika has those details.
Volunteers from Victory Church have started renovations on their new worship space. The growing congregation has purchased the historic St. Andrew's United Church building in downtown Moose Jaw.
Well, we're excited for the new space, and we're going to have church as normal, kind of the Victory style.
St. Andrew's was constructed in the early 1900s to seat 750 people. Declining attendance in recent years prompted the sale. Victory Church is located just across the alley and was bursting at the seams with average Sunday attendance of 800 people.
We've been on this incredible growth journey, and we are at 3 services now in our current facility. We're planning on going to 4 services.
Victory Church is known for a modern style of worship. Moving into a century-old setting will require modifications, primarily on the technical side.
Acoustics will be our biggest challenge. It's going to be a lot because that room, I believe, is made for the organ and a cappella music for choirs. And with us using electric instruments will be really be a challenge, but we are getting professionals, engineers to help us.
The building had been listed for sale at $1.2 million. Victory Church paid $750,000.
What our congregation's used to is not the grand cathedral style, but we're excited to step into that and to try something new. And for us, this is new.
Victory Church feels it would have been a shame had this building been significantly altered and transformed for another use. The church is pleased to play a role in maintaining this building for its intended purpose as a house of worship. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Still to come on CTV News, why some in Atlantic Canada are opposing a new ban, and uncertainty in the air with flight attendants on the verge of a strike. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Canadians will start seeing new nation-building projects approved early this fall, according to the federal energy minister. CTV's Rachel Aiello now on the kind of projects that could soon be greenlit.
I know there are buyers.
Canada's energy minister made it clear today that with multiple projects in the works and a global demand for cleaner energy, there's a market for Canadian liquefied natural gas that may help make the case for facilities to be fast-tracked through the new national projects process.
What I can tell you from the conversations that the Prime Minister has been having, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been having, the Minister of International Trade has been having, the conversations I've been having, our allies are very interested in Canadian LNG.
A comment the natural resources sector welcomed.
More customers, more shipments, more LNG export facilities means more jobs for Canadians.
The minister said that as soon as the private sector, provincial governments, and Indigenous groups put forward projects, the federal government will start deciding which ones are in the national interest.
I would expect you would see a rolling set of announcements over the fall as different projects mature and meet the criteria.
While stating the government remains committed to its climate objectives, the minister wouldn't rule out easing federal emissions targets to move these projects forward.
So the LNG emissions math is inescapable. So these projects in Canada result in significant increase in emissions. Like one project is equal to about 1 million cars.
Minister Hodgson said that he's focused on results and not how we get there, indicating the powers Cabinet now has through Bill C-5 allows him to deal with any issues that arise. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The union representing Air Canada flight attendants has declined a proposal from the airline to enter binding arbitration. The development means CUPE could declare its plans to stop working anytime after midnight Wednesday. The two sides have been negotiating for more than 8 months. The earliest flight attendants could walk off the job is this Saturday at midnight. Last week, flight attendants voted more than 99% in favor of giving their union a strike mandate. The union says its main sticking point are low wages and unpaid labor. A WestJet system outage that caused flight delays at multiple airports, including here at home in Saskatoon, has been resolved. The airline says it had network-wide technical issues this morning. A spokesperson for WestJet says the issue delayed the handover of aircraft from maintenance to scheduled operation, and the issue is now resolved. The decision by 2 provinces in Atlantic Canada to prohibit people from walking through the woods during this wildfire season is sparking anger. CTV's Judy Trin now on why some say the ban is an overreach.
Much of Atlantic Canada is a tinderbox. New Brunswick is the second province after Nova Scotia to ban people from forests on public land.
What do you make of it? Sad, but it's the wise thing to do.
We're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods.
Less than a week after Nova Scotia put in its restrictions, the ban is being challenged.
Walking in the woods.
Jeff Evely deliberately broke the law in protest and posted it on social media. The former soldier told provincial forestry officers ahead of time that he was going to walk through the woods. Then he was issued a ticket.
Let me see if you can see that.
Evely says the fine for more than $28,000 violates his constitutional rights.
It needs to be minimally impairing and logically connected to the goal. And so my sneakers do not give off sparks.
In Nova Scotia, most fires are started by people. So far, the Ministry of Natural Resources has ticketed 6 people for going into the woods. The province says this year's conditions are similar to 2023, when wildfires forced 16,000 Halifax residents to flee.
It's just so dry right now with people in the more people that are in the woods, the more likelihood we're going to have a fire.
Back in New Brunswick, government officials say the ban ensures emergency resources are directed where they are needed the most.
We're asking you to make the safe choice for our first responders, for your neighbors, and for our woods.
Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland are still allowing people into the forest, but have increased the penalties for violating the fire ban. Fines are now upwards of $50,000. And in Newfoundland, a violation could result in a 1-year jail sentence.
They're long, narrow, and deep inlets of the sea formed by erosion, often tied to Scandinavia. But there's one in our own Canadian backyard. And as Sarah Plowman reports, that has scientists taking a deep dive.
A few hours northeast of Quebec City is the Saguenay Fjord. Carved from glacier forces, it snakes inland from the St. Lawrence. Scientists from the UK and the Université Laval are here to study what lies beneath the mud at the bottom.
The mud at the bottom of the seafloor is also really, really rich in organic carbon and is storing this carbon, but we know much less about it because it's so far down, it's so deep, and it's really hard to study.
And so they dig up samples 200 meters below.
This really important carbon store, which obviously is really important to understand in understanding how climate change is progressing and things we can do to mitigate climate change.
Each scoop full of animals like tube worms and brittle stars. In a lab, they'll study how they move in the mud, actively churning the sediment and with it, the carbon.
If you think about the seafloor, most people think that there's nothing there. But these animals are so important for moving the sediment, building ecosystems, and maintaining the ecosystem above it.
This study is part of the Convex Seascape Survey, a 5-year global project focused on how, where, and when the ocean's continental shelves and muddy seafloor store carbon.
And what we're investigating is what role do the tiny little animals that live on the seafloor play in regulating those huge processes.
And by understanding how the system works, we can then understand how the system no longer works if it is perturbed, for example, by human activities or by climate change.
Scientists came to this fjord partly due to its biodiversity. From the water, it feels large, but on a global map, it's a mere dot.
But what's really magical about the place is that it acts as a laboratory for much bigger scale systems.
Their research now moves from this fjord to the lab, where they'll study the samples they gathered right here. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Petite Saguenay, Quebec.
Jeff, you love fjords.
I do love fjords. The 3 F's of Norway: fjords, fish, and forests.
Oh, yay, oh my. Lions and tigers and bears.
You know, Sarah is a friend of ours. She used to work here. I think she told me this story was going to be about sunken treasure, so I'm a little mad.
They're still looking. They're still looking.
Exactly. That's they're really looking for. Treasure.
Treasure. Okay, any treasure in the forecast?
Thank you for that segue. Actually, you know what? There is. If that treasure comes in the form of rain for northern Saskatchewan, that's better than gold doubloons, that's for sure. 23 degrees right now in Saskatoon, 18 in Prince Albert, 22 in the Battlefords. They've had a little bit of rain in the Prince Albert area throughout the afternoon. I'm gonna turn this clicker in. You know, there you go. There. It's like I think the button is faulty. It's not mine. It's not me. 24 degrees for a high. 25 is typical for this time of year. 34 degrees, the record warm temperature, 1940, and the sun is going to go down at 8:37.
Coming up, back to school early. Classes begin for some students in Edmonton.
All right, let's take a look at what's going on outside. And as you can see, a little bit of light on the horizon. Do you have some clouds out there right now? Right now, we're not anticipating much in the way of precipitation associated with this. Oh, my gosh, the plague of the locusts. All right, there you go. Just missed. Anyhow, we're keeping our eye on this low-pressure center that continues to make its way through Saskatchewan. Unfortunately, it seems to be losing some of its steam and its moisture as it makes its way into the fire areas of northern Saskatchewan. But another system is on its way. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But let's recap our temperatures. It's 23 degrees right now in Saskatoon, 18 in Prince Albert, and 22 in the Battlefords. Winds are on the moderate side in all 3 locations. For the hot and cold spot, well, hot spot was Maple Creek at 27. The cold spot, 0 degrees in Key Lake. On to the current temperatures around the province, starting off with the larger communities. 26 degrees in Lloydminster, 24 in Swift Current, 25 in Moose Jaw and Regina, 23 in Estevan, just 20 degrees right now in Yorkton. In central Saskatchewan, temperatures are as cool as 16 degrees in Melfort, but as hot as 26 degrees, and that is in Kindersley. It's 23 in Meadow Lake, 18 in Hudson Bay, 24 in Watrous, 20 in Wynyard. 14 degrees in Stony Rapids, 12 in Collins Bay, 13 in Key Lake, 16 in LaRange right now. Down south, 27 degrees in Maple Creek, 25 in a number of locations. And as we get towards the eastern side of the province, temperatures drop off a little bit. Melville at 20 degrees, but it's 22 in Broadview, 24 in Carlisle. Our futurecast. So this is what I'm talking about. This second system making its way through Alberta into Saskatchewan. It looks like it's got a bit more, you know, I'll say energy associated with it. With the energy, also some precipitation. We're hoping it's going to stay in that northerly track and bring some rain. Now, it does come with the risk of thunderstorms, but right now we're going to keep our fingers crossed for just rain. Excuse me. LaRange, 18. The same for Buffalo Narrows. Stony Rapids, 13, 12 in Key Lake. Meadow Lake, Kindersley, Spiritwood, and Rosetown all anticipating showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. And as you can see, a lot warmer in Kindersley and Rosetown on Wednesday. Mainly sunny or sunny skies for the southwest, temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s, so a hot situation down in southwestern Saskatchewan. In the southeast, 24 degrees in Yorkton, 28 in Regina and Estevan, 31 in Moose Jaw. And temperatures pretty warm around Watrous, where it's going to be 27 tomorrow, but 23 in Melfort with a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. Close to that temperature-wise in Humboldt and Hudson Bay, but those locations are not anticipating showers. 30% chance of showers for the Battlefords overnight, 70% tomorrow, 25 for a high. And then the long-range forecast, we've got a bit of a cool Thursday and windy conditions, but then starting to warm up ever so slowly. But by next week, we're above temperatures, above seasonal temperatures again. Prince Albert, a slight chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm. That increases tomorrow, 23 degrees for a high on Wednesday. Thursday, 17, the same on Friday. So a bit of a cool day, a cool couple of days there. That includes Saturday. That comes with a chance of some showers, and then warming up to 25 by Tuesday. And Saskatoon, 15 degrees, slight chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm. And then tomorrow's high, 27, so above seasonal temperatures, a bit on the breezy side, mainly cloudy conditions. And then on Thursday, 18, just 19 on Friday, but warming back up to more seasonal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday, and warmer than seasonal as we take a look at Monday and Tuesday.
So I wanted to show you something.
Okay, what do we got?
We got
a briefcase.
Yep.
Mint green with TS on it.
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
I'm from a generation where TS meant something different. Anyhow, the singer announcing her new album, yes, The Life of a Showgirl, on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast, co-hosted by his brother Jason. Rumors had been swirling after Tay-Tay started posting some cryptic messages on social media. This is Taylor Swift's 12th studio album, and she made the announcement official at 12/12 on the 12th of August. No official release date has been issued.
I used to love you. Now every day I hate you just a little more.
Ed Sheeran is reunited with another famous face in his latest music video. Harry Potter star Rupert Grint appears in the video for a little more. Grint played a fan who had an unhealthy obsession with Sheeran in the singer's 2011 music video, Lego House. This video shows where that character is 14 years later.
Hey.
I'm back.
We get such great pictures.
We do.
Especially this time of year.
I'm glad you bring that up, because we get a lot of pictures, and believe me, we try our best to get as many of them on. So please, bear with us as we try to get to yours. All right. Let's start off with this one. This one comes to us from Clinton Teal from the Bruno area originally. This is from last week at the exhibition, and this is a group I believe called Circus. So thanks for that exhibition photo there. Thank you, Clinton. And then sort of keeping with that theme from the exhibition has a brand new mascot called Scamper the Squirrel. And maybe this is an inspiration from, this comes to us from Matthew. And this squirrel, he says, is just hanging out at the Battlefords Provincial Park. And finally from Shelley, granddaughter kayaking on Bright Sand Lake. What a beautiful shot there. A great shot. So thank you, Shelley, for sharing that image with us. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can send it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. Please put pick of the day in the subject line.
Still to come on CTV News, tension mounts between the Berries and Red Sox ahead of Game 3. But up next, these students aren't too cool for school, even in August. Most kids are soaking in the last few weeks of summer vacation. More than 1,000 kids in Edmonton are already back in class. CTV's Evan Kenny has more on year-round school and why some families prefer it.
Class is back in session for 1,300 Edmonton Catholic school students. How are you feeling for first day of school?
Good. A little shaky, like it's nervous, but good. New school is good. It will help you make new friends.
While most are excited to be back with friends, some aren't ready for the summer to be over.
It's so short. All the schools are reopening during September, but we are opening just August, and it's early August too.
Students at St. Alphonsus Elementary Junior High, St. Catherine Elementary Junior High, and St. Teresa of Calcutta Elementary School start 3 weeks earlier than others in Edmonton. They receive the same number of instructional hours because of extra time off in the fall and at spring break.
I think it's nice. They get slightly longer breaks during the year and they're learning more of the time.
Those longer breaks throughout the year just give everyone a chance to reset and come back focused.
Which helps parents too.
So we are working. So 2 months is long too. Yeah. For the kids to stay at home. Yeah. So for me it's better to go early.
The principal suggests anyone interested in year-round school,
give it a try. It works for so many different families in different ways, and it's good that we have this option.
The rest of the students in Edmonton Catholic and public schools return to class September 2nd after the long weekend. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
And when we come back, the latest on the riders, and later a pair of orphaned cougars get a new home.
Welcome back, and as we take a look at our rural forecast, the lightning strikes we're not crazy about, but the rain that's in the forecast in areas to the northwest, we're very happy about that, and we're hoping it makes its way northward and impacts the fire areas. Let's take a look at some of the numbers. Well, there you can see very hot in southern Saskatchewan tomorrow. Temperatures in many locations at 30 or above. Look at that. Maple Creek, 33 degrees, 32 in Coronach, and some roasty, toasty temperatures in Kenora, Broadview, and Carlisle. Maybe not quite as hot, but certainly warm nonetheless. 29 degrees for Capel and area. We're looking at partly cloudy skies and kind of a breezy day. No, let's face it, it's going to be windy. And Capel is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Greetings, everyone. For generations, medicines and herbs have been a key component to the health and well-being of Indigenous communities across North America. In North Central Regina, the Mama Wiyatatin Center is helping break down barriers to make these medicines more accessible in the city. CTV's Brittany Poitras brings us the story.
We're all coming together as a community, just like the plants.
Mandy Ellis is teaching the value of growth through medicinal plants. Among the many plants growing in the Mama Wiyatatin garden is the traditional Indigenous medicine called sage.
Sage is a great tea and just a great healer. You can use the sage fresh or dry, and you can even use it as a rinse for your mouth, a toothpaste, for your hair, your skin. That's a very special plant for us to help us cleanse and bring that focus and stay with our prayers and our ceremony in that way.
The garden is somewhere where both plants and people thrive, with many coming by to relax in the beauty of nature.
And also one of our goals is just beautifying the neighborhood, providing a space where folks can hang out outside. As you can see, there's a ton of people out here on a beautiful Saskatchewan summer day, enjoying the fresh air and just enjoying the beauty and fun of the garden. So that's a big goal of ours as well.
Along with medicinal plants, the garden is also a platform for people to learn how to grow their own produce.
The community gardens provide a lot of different benefits to the community. So number one, of course, is providing greater access to food. Our motto is help yourself.
It's a community benefit that people of all ages make use of by digging, weeding, and harvesting here.
really any experience levels, any ages. We have folks, you know, babies all the way up to people in their 90s come out and help us, you know, from anywhere in the city, or if you're from out of town, if you've ever just wanted to come check out a garden, see if you have a green thumb.
Work bees are held every second Wednesday from 4:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. The Work Bee program will be in the garden for the rest of the growing season.
You know, they're a nation within themselves, and we're sharing the space with them, and it's good medicine.
I'm Brittany Poitras for Indigenous Circle.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
The Regina Red Sox and Saskatoon Berries are going the distance in the WCBL East Division Final. The Berries scored 3 in the 7th inning. They got 2 runs off of a double by Jalen Freeman. His only hit in the game was a big one as the Berries doubled up the Sox 8-4. The deciding third game shifts back to Saskatoon tonight. Whoever wins will face Sylvan Lake in the final. It will be a battle of the 2 top CFL offenses on Saturday as the Riders host the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Mosaic Stadium. Jacob Carr has the story.
Riders offensive coordinator Mark Mueller's unit is near the top of the CFL per game statistics in nearly every measurable category. But Grey Cup champions aren't crowned mid-season. Therefore, Mueller isn't ready to assign a letter grade to his side of the ball because the job is far from finished.
I think, unfortunately, like anything, it'd be incomplete, because it's just the middle of the season and we're trying to get better. But the guys are playing hard and we're getting better. I think that's the best part, is every practice, every game, the guys are growing and we can put more on these guys. They're smart, they work hard, and with that, it's admirable.
Riders quarterback Trevor Harris has been the model of efficiency this year. Literally, he leads the CFL with a 119.7 efficiency rating and has completed over 75% of his passes. But Harris will be the first to say that there are plenty of areas where the offense can improve as the season progresses.
Yeah, I want us to be the most efficient team in the CFL in the red zone, and I want us to be the best team on second long, and I want us to be the most efficient team on first down. And so there's tons of things. There's always going to be, spots that we can talk about with routes or depths or timing.
The receiving corps have taken turns having big games this year, a luxury that makes it tougher on an opposing defense to key in on one guy. In their last contest, it was Dante Myers with a breakout game, but even first-time starter Tommy Neild recorded his first touchdown as a Rider.
We know who we can be, and we know who the next man up is. Can be explosive, can be reliable, and can be trusted, And so that's something that we're striving for. And then it's just a blessing to have somebody like Tommy to come in, get his touchdown, and in a red zone.
It will be a battle of the top 2 scoring offenses in the CFL on Saturday when the Hamilton Tiger Cats roll into town. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Still to come on CTV News, honoring Terry Fox. Then 2 orphaned cougars find a permanent home.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
2 orphaned cougars from Alberta now have a permanent home. Park Safari south of Montreal has taken them in. A hunter killed their mother, leaving the pair orphaned and too young to care for themselves. After a brief stop at the Calgary Zoo, they're now in Quebec. Cougars aren't endangered, but they're certainly rare.
Well, those look like they're pretty big already. So, wow, impressive. I'm glad they have a new home.
Me too. A farm near Ottawa is honoring a Canadian icon with a corn maze.
Really move. Okay, I'll go this way also with you.
Which way do we go? That way.
The maze is celebrating Terry Fox and the fact he'll soon be on the $5 bill. This year is also the 45th anniversary of the Marathon of Hope, making the maze extra special. The farm is also donating a portion of the proceeds to the Terry Fox Foundation. You good at mazes, Jeff?
Not like this.
I'm good at them when I can see them from that far.
Well, yes, that's kind of the trick here. And that corn, it's as high as an elephant's eye.
Yes, that's what we always say around here. What's that?
That's they say in the musical Oklahoma, but there you go.
Oh, okay, missed that one, but I'll catch it after I do that maze. There you go.
I don't know if we have time for weather, but we can simply play. Oh, looks like we do. All right, I can tell you that 18 degrees at 9 a.m., 22 by noon, and then mid-afternoon, warmer than seasonal temperatures, but the wind starts to pick up late in the afternoon, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay, thanks,
Jeff. You're quite welcome, Laura.
Look at this beautiful shot.
Mm-hmm.